people that in those rural areas that voted for Donald Trump. So we're going to also talk about the soybeans, China switching to Argentina. We're going to talk about Trump's alleged comments to J.D. Vance, the veterans, the J.D. vets, that's what they're calling, about buying that farmland once the farmers lose their land, because it's being predicted that they won't be able to stay in business. And one of the crises that's happening right now is that, most of them are not being able to sell their soybeans. And we're going to talk about America's farming future. So this is a very interesting topic because, when I think about the Black farmers, a lot of people lost their land. They didn't just give it away. It was actually taken away. So we're going to dive deep into that particular topic. So thank you, Jazzy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sheridan, thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Hey, Penta. Miss Missy, how are you doing this evening? Yes. Hey, Tree Burner Johnny, how are you this evening?
Go back. Yeah. Let me hit this picture again. No, not.
Okay.
Hit the picture at the top.
Hope everybody's having a terrific Tuesday, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. Yes. We're going to get started shortly, and the topic is Trumpism, the farmers' outcry, land loss, soybean crisis, and what's next. What's next for the farmers, for those that are, who possibly may lose their farms, and primarily the ones that won't be able to make ends meet, because a lot of them got a lot of soybeans on stock, and they can't sell them. They don't have anybody to sell them to. So we're going to dive deep into that particular topic. Hey, Big Rock, how are you doing this evening? Anthony and Grandmaster, hi, how are you guys doing? Hey, Danny O Jr., 75. Thank you guys for joining us. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if any of this hits home with you, please comment, share with us what you're thinking. We may share your comments online. Sometimes it's difficult because we're on about 4 or 5 platforms, but we will definitely do our best to share our comments, because this is a topic that should be interesting to all of us, because of the fact that, even if we don't know any Black farmers, we know that they may be impacted. And so, if it's a chance that any farmer, it doesn't matter the race, will lose their land, that's something that's detrimental to a lot of people. So that's why we're here. We're bringing you this podcast so that we can inform, so people will be empowered. So thank you again for joining us. Okay. And guess what, guys? I am your girl, Dr. B, your favorite auntie, and welcome to another episode of J&B Live. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for being a part of the J&B family.
Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm your boy, that guy, Uncle Broker J3. Today's topic again, as Doc B said, it's gonna rattle some cages and open some eyes. Trumpism, farmers' outcry. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know exactly what's going on with farmers, because if you don't know a farmer, then you may not know exactly what's going on. But we're talking this evening about farmers losing land, Black farmers facing discrimination, soybeans rotting in storage because they don't have anybody to sell them to, and China buying from Argentina. And the question is, who ends up owning the land?
Yeah, and guys, we spoke about it last week. A lot of this is briefly a blowback on all farmers, not just the Black farmers. The Black farmers are taking a harder hit, but it's on all farmers. See, Trump actually bailed out Argentina with a $20 billion bailout to help them out. But at the same time, when he helped them out, they actually undercut America farmers and sold the soybeans to China, which is the largest buyer of our soybeans. So a lot of farmers are taking a serious hit. Now, you guys may ask, what does this have to do with me? You will start seeing prices soar higher than they already are in the grocery stores. And we're going to get into it. So we appreciate if you guys tap that screen. Let us know that you're there. And help us to set our gift goal, get to our gift goal today. We really appreciate it. And also shout out to your city in the chat, so we'll know where you guys are hailing from.
Yes, thank you, Robert Lyons.
We always appreciate it when you guys let us know where you're at.
Yeah, keep those gifts coming as well, guys. Thank you again.
Yeah, we appreciate it so much, guys. So let's make this episode viral, guys. Yeah. I know we can do that.
Yeah, okay, keep those gifts coming. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a topic that's dear to my heart, because it goes back way before 2025, and we're going to dive deep into that as well.
Yeah, so we sure are.
But first, we're going to talk about the Black farmers' land laws. Okay, so let me set the stage for you guys. Okay, so according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, Black farmers lost more than 90% of their farmland between 1910 and 1997. And now, guys, you think about Black people losing their land. It wasn't just they lost it. I'm going to keep it real with you. They took it. An estimated $326 billion in generational wealth. And then some of you ask yourself, how can Black people get ahead? It's hard for them to get ahead when they can't own anything, because when they did own it, they took it from them. Okay. So that's not just numbers. That's families. That's communities. And that's legacy all gone. That's generation wealth out the door.
Exactly, guys. And again, it's hard. It's hard when I think about it, because you guys don't understand how important this is and how it attacks the everyday people. But what does the American Bar Association say about that, Doc B?
Okay, so they're saying that one of the main reasons is something called heir property, and it's a clause. That's when land is passed down without a will, and a single heir can force a sale, and the land gets auctioned off cheap. And this has hurt Black people, Black farmers, for decades, because guess what? If something happens, they can't afford to hire an attorney. And so that's how we get lost in everything. Thank you, Miss Empower. Thank you for the gifts. Keep those gifts coming, guys. So that's what has happened to Black people. I mentioned earlier, but what, 1910 to 19, what was the year again, Broker J3?
I think it was 1920.
Okay, yeah, 1910 to 1965.
Oh, yeah,
Black
65.
people, have lost a lot of their farmland.
Now, according to the NAAC Legal Defense Fund, today, less than 2% of the U.S. farmers are Black. Now, that's a very small number, guys. And in 1920, as I mentioned a moment ago, there were nearly almost 1 million Black farmers. Now it's fewer than 50,000 that actually remain right now.
Yeah, that's not a lot of Black farmers out there. And, if you listen to some of the streaming platforms, you'll have the Black farmers that'll be on there from time to time, and they'll tell you quickly they don't get the same amount of line of credit as the white farmers get. It's hard for them to even get loans. And then there are a lot of grants that people don't know that a lot of farmers get. But guess what? Sometimes they bypass the Black farmers and they don't give them those loans. Okay, so now I want to ask this question. Did those farmers who are hurting right now, did they vote for Trump? Okay, this is a big question. Did most of them vote for Trump? According to Pew Research, now this is not according to Dr. B, Broker J3, a majority of people in the rural counties where farming dominates, where I live, there's a lot of farmland as well. They supported Trump heavily in 2016 and 2020.
Exactly. So when you say you told them to vote,
okay.
Oh gosh, sorry guys. It's almost like this. They told you to vote for him, and we know who we were talking about. We're talking about the current president. And these are the political elites, the conservative media outlets, the party leaders, the ones who rally the farmers to put their trust in Trump.
Yeah, again. And what's happening is they told you, we're talking directly to the farmers that have been hit. They told you to vote for Trump. Okay, they told you to vote for him. Now they want your land. And guess what? If you can't pay for it, guess what? They're going to take it. Because if you owe the bank and you can't make that mortgage, they're going to take your land. And that's what's going to happen. This is so sad that a lot of people are going to lose their land. And guess what? It was predicted. It was predicted. We knew that this was going to happen, guys. I hate to say it.
Exactly. And guys, this is what they call straight betrayal.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Straight betrayal. Farmers expected protection, but instead, Trump's trade war with China, it literally slammed them. Mm-hmm. And according to Reuters, the soybean exports to China fell nearly 40% as the prices tanked. So basically, where farmers would have sold a bushel for, let's say, $12 a bushel, now they're having to sell their bushels for $3 and $4 wherever they can find someone to buy those bushels of soybean, and it barely covers the cost of the seed or even getting those things planted.
Mm-hmm. And then to top that off, not only are they getting their cheaper price, they're having to sell the soybean for a cheaper price. They're not selling as much as they would normally sell. So they're going to end up with excess soybeans that they won't be able to do anything with. You know, that's going to be a loss. So what the prediction is, guys, is, okay, this is what's going to happen. What do you think, Broker G? What do you think, how we're going to predict them? With what type of prediction do you think is going to happen with that land? Are they going to lose the land? What do you think, Broker J3?
I think they're going to lose the land. Personally, I think the family farms in the Midwest and the South, they're at risk. You know, rising debt, shrinking market, and low prices are pushing them out. In fact, guys, I'm going to go ahead right now. I'm going to play a clip for you guys and let you guys see what's going on with some of these farmers.
Thank you for the gift. Thank you, guys.
For some of the farmers that's dealing with it right now. So
thank you, Pecan Tan.
So I'm going to play this quick clip for you guys.
For farmers across the United States, and this year could challenge farmers right here in Region 8. Alejandra Hernandez joins us in the studio, and she spoke to one farmer. And Alejandra, what has farmers worried?
Well, we've heard just how tough this year has been for farmers, and one farmer that I spoke to in Rector said that while he has farmed his whole life, this year has him worried.
I've never in my life faced a time, and I've been farming since 1993 on my own, where the outlook is so bleak financially.
In a year where crops have been tested by Mother Nature, the toughest test may lie just ahead for farmers. Harvest begins across Arkansas, but for farmers like Cliff Carter, the challenge will happen after.
This is the first time in my life farming that I still have crop in my bins that I can't sell.
Despite a good crop this year, Carter says the prices they get for those crops won't cover expenses. He's not alone. Ag America reported in March the agricultural trade could reach a record trade deficit. Carter says the price for crops has dropped drastically.
Basically, what we're getting out, a bushel of corn or a bushel of rice, would be like you making $5 an hour and trying to pay your bills at home. In today's time, we can't do it.
Carter says farmers face challenges from several angles. Earlier this year, tariffs were imposed on U.S. exports. Carter said while businesses can fight tariffs by raising their prices, the reality is not the same for farmers.
We can't do that. Our price, the price is set for us is global market.
He said those tariffs are costing farmers their biggest customers.
Mexico and China are the two biggest rice buyers for the United. They buy more rice off of us than anyone. And when they stop buying rice, we have nowhere to go with the rice.
Carter said it's not just tariffs. The rise in global competitors like Brazil is also hurting farmers. Selling domestically is an option, but
I was offered $3.90 a bushel for rice last week to make dog food out of. That won't even cover my seed cost hardly.
Agriculture is a $20 billion industry in Arkansas. Carter fears that failure for farmers won't just stop with them.
It won't be a trickle-down effect. It will be like flushing a toilet if the ag industry collapses.
Carter says farmers need help from the government to help bridge the gap between the cost of producing crops and selling them. Despite a bleak outlook, Carter said there's one thing that keeps him from losing faith for farmers.
Totally 100% dependent upon the Lord Jesus Christ. I surrender it to Him.
You see, guys, that's and now imagine that these are the white farmers that when we're going to play a clip shortly with one of the black farmers, and you see how bad they are hurting. And again, the black farmers is less of them that doesn't get the subsidies as the white farmers. So they're getting hit real hard. So you guys will start seeing, especially as fall is coming now. It's harvest time for a lot of the farmers. And they're not being able to get their goods sold. So you're gonna see an increase at the grocery store, especially with your farm goods.
And guys, I hope you pay close attention. Hey, Unique, to the comment that the farmer made. He said it was like him making $5 an hour, and that was not going to cut it for him. Just think about it. He's already invested a lot in the crop itself. You see what I'm saying? So, and that equipment that they use is very expensive.
Yes, it is.
So you have to think about that. The farmers are going to get hit, and they're going to get hard. Some of them will not be able to sustain this hit, and they could potentially lose their farm.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening with them. So,
okay, guys, so let's not forget the rumors. This is the saddest part about it. And this just kind of like just breaks my heart because, while the farmers are being hit, they're sending all this money to Argentina. And we've got farmers that are suffering here in the United States. So what about them? What about the help that they need? That hits home. And so some of their claims out there that said J.D. Vance's vets, the veterans that are aligned with J.D. Vance and Trump movement, they're lined up to purchase the farmland once small farmers are forced to sell. Now, we know that Trump has a real estate background. We already know that. So this is potentially going to happen. We don't have the hard evidence, but that's a rumor itself. It's sparking anger and suspicion online. A lot of people are upset, and I don't blame them.
That's right. It's almost like your granddaddy's field might be tomorrow's hedge fund. So, and that really is something to really think hard about, because it's almost like they're setting the farmers up to take their land, to fail.
Exactly, to fail, and all because of the terrorists. And this is the saddest part about it, is most of the people that are probably going to lose their land, it's the ones that voted for Trump. Can you imagine that? This is just terrible. Okay, so so shout out to, thank you for reminding me. Shout out to B.A. Marcus, Real Patriot, Joe Clegg. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you guys for being a part of the J&B family. And thank you for all of your comments. Thank y'all for joining in on this particular topic about Trumpism, because this is a form of Trumpism where farmers are just upset and they're crying outcry. They're going to lose their lands, and about the soybean crisis and what's going to happen next. And one of our viewers said, well, what's next? We're going to get to that in a little bit later on. Thank you for joining us.
And shout out for our work for Beneath. DJ Loyalty, DJ 1F1. Shout out to Droid, Freddie. And you guys, make sure you guys follow our top 3 supporters, Miss Empower, J7, and also Miss Tan, Pecan Tan. Make sure you guys follow our top supporters. They are our day ones. We appreciate them. You guys definitely need to follow them and check out their content. And again, last shout out real quick to Baby Girl, Nubian Queen, Man of God. Okay, I like when you put it in there, put it out there like that. Shout out. We appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for always joining us and supporting us. We really appreciate it. All right.
Comment. Thank you guys.
So let's get to that soybean crisis.
Okay, we're going to talk about the soybean crisis. We talked about it a little bit a few minutes ago, and China's shift. We talked about where the money is going. So according to Reuters, the U.S. Soybean farmers are losing billions of dollars as China shift to buy from Argentina and Brazil.
Yeah, and that's just so crazy because according to the Farm Progress, China is buying up 25% of Argentina's soybean. Now, that's land, jobs, and dollars leaving American soil. Now, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep repeating it until it gets down deep so you understand what's going on. Our president has basically bailed out Argentina with our tax dollars. $20 billion to bail them out. Why he felt like he needed to bail them out. And now our own farmers are hurting. The same people that bought our soybeans are buying them from Argentina, who he bailed out. So you bailed them out so they can undercut us and sell their soybeans to China. Guys, this is something serious now. It may not seem serious to you guys, but I promise you, you will understand how serious it is when you go to buy something from the grocery store and realize that price and almost tripled.
And so to me, that's just total betrayal because you're putting Argentina before the U.S. citizens. And so to me, you can't feed your family when them soybeans won't sell. You don't have anybody to sell them to. Who are you going to sell them to? So you can't feed your family. So how are you going to make ends meet? It's going to be totally impossible. So guess what, guys? If the farmers can't pay their bills, guess what? They're going to be forced to sell because there's someone waiting to just dive right on in and grab that land. So who's going to buy that land if they can't make the mortgage payment?
That's right.
Okay, so who's waiting in the wings? Okay, according to the New York Times, wealthy investors, hedge funds, and even foreign buyers are snapping up U.S. farmland. And guys, you may have noticed that that's not just that. They're already going in, buying up land in general. Just think about it. A lot of y'all have probably noticed there are data centers that are popping up everywhere. We're going to get to that, and we're going to have a episode that just focuses on the data centers. But a lot of those hedge funds, those big time corporations, are going into these small rural counties, and they're buying up that land.
They sure are, and that's what people are saying. This isn't just a farm crisis. This is literally a land grab because those developers. They are hot on those farms. You got to realize most black farmers are usually running a farm between 50 to 200 acres. Now, that's not a lot of land compared to most white farmers who's running land starting at about 1,000 acres.
They have what's called blocks. Yes,
they have real blocks, and that's 1,000 acres, guys. I don't think you guys understand how big that is. That's literally a couple of communities in itself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, we have to think about this, guys, and this is to the farmers. You didn't lose your land. You sold it to someone who will never let you farm it again. That's what's going to happen because you're going to have to be able to take care of your family. So if it comes down to you losing your land or taking care of your family, which one are you going to choose? You're going to choose to take care of your family.
Take care of your family.
You have no choice. You got to take care of your family. So you're going to end up selling it to some people that you're not going to have any control over. They're going to come in and just take it over, and you'll probably get a good piece of change for it, but you're not going to be a farmer anymore. You won't be able to use that land anymore.
You're not going to have a choice. So let's give another shout out to some. We got Miss Baddest. Bad.
We got Big Diamond, baby. We got Phil. We got Time's Up. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for those. Thank you, Chimp, for being one of our #1 gifter bags. So thank you, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, Joe Clegg. All right, let's keep this thing moving, guys. Okay, now let's take a look at the black versus the white farmers. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. So according to the USDA, black farmers were denied loans, delayed aid, and face open discrimination. I was listening at Roland podcast, and he had one of the black farmers, a guy that was really over one of the black farmers league. And he said he remembers a time when he was even spit on. He remembers personally be told that he would never get a loan. For years, Black farmers have been, denied loans. They've been delayed aid, and they've faced discrimination. And some of them have even people just took their land. They were farming the land and they just went in and took it. So even today, lawsuits prove they were mistreated.
Exactly. Yes, Doc B. And according to the food tank, the USDA only recently created a $2.2 billion compensation program for farmers discriminated against. But that money doesn't restore those lost acres.
No, they can't get those acres back because of the air property that we talked about earlier, guys. Okay, so, people robbed Black farmers for 100 years, guys. This is not something new. Now they write a check and call it justice.
And
but they can't get that, like Broker J3 said, they can't get the land back.
No. We're going to play another clip for you guys. One of the Black farmers, and she's going to talk about some of the struggles that she's going through as well. So I know some of you guys on some of the platforms can't see the clip, but you should be able to hear it.
When foreclosures and suicides inspired Willie Nelson and friends to raise money and awareness.
As long as there's one family farmer out there who wants to stay on the land, we'll be here.
40 years later, there is still plenty of farm debt, along with plenty of worry about immigration raids, trade wars, and climate change. Earth is hotter by 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since Farm Aid 1, bringing more drought, flood, and pestilence.
Our big harvest at this point in time is tomatoes.
Penny Jordan recently lost tens of thousands of dollars worth of strawberries to fruit flies that now survive Maine winters. And now she's dealing with historic drought, scrambling for irrigation gear never needed before.
Farming never gets easier, it always gets harder. And all of the inputs cost more. Everything is expensive. And so you're looking at a season that you always hope has promise, and every time you have more money going into your inputs, and then you want your product to be affordable for people.
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, Angela Dawson says she's losing her dream of a 40-acre co-op to grow hemp and train a new generation of Black farmers to grow the kind of biodiversity we saw on Penny's farm in Maine, where variety helps feed the surrounding ecosystem.
It's really a simple saying, but like if you ate today, thank a farmer, is like the reality hasn't hit, I think, most of us yet.
First, she says epic storms destroyed her hoop houses. And then a Biden-era grant she was counting on to buy a tractor was killed amid cuts by the EPA.
I think when we just commoditize everything and try to put it into a stock market tick,
right,
it just it doesn't work that way. And so I feel like if we just had more of a holistic and comprehensive approach to agriculture, including all the diverse aspects that makes things grow, farming can't just be a monoculture.
Ironically, it is monoculture commodity crops like corn that get the most federal subsidy help, while those growing the veggies at your farm stand often struggle to stay in business.
I ended up becoming a hippie back to the lander and coming to Maine in the 1970s.
Shelley Pingree was one of those organic farmers before joining Congress and is now trying to pass her Agricultural Resilience Act.
Some of the parts of the bill talk about things like keeping farmland, because a lot of farmers are just worried about losing their farm and what protection programs can help keep it. And then when you have your farm, how do we make it more viable?
She said it best. She's worried about, most farmers are worried about losing their farmlands.
Exactly. Exactly.
Guys, okay, we've got some comments. We want to go ahead and key in on those. One of the viewers is saying that her uncle in Iowa can't sell his beans. Yeah, that is true, because they don't need them. They've got an excess of beans, they don't need them. So a lot of people are going to end up with a lot of excess beans. And what are they going to do? They don't have any choice. They're going to throw them away.
Right. We have another viewer that says our family lost land to taxes that we couldn't pay. Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Guys, yeah. So, guys, if you know anyone who's been affected by, the tariffs, what's going on right now, please drop a comment. And if you are just concerned and you just want to share, because like I said, this is something that hits home for me, because I mean, I like to grow fruits and vegetables, but I just grow just something for the house. But, you know, a lot of people are dependent on the money that they make from farming. And right now, just like the young ladies said that were on the little video, they're worried because they don't have any buyers. They're not getting what they need in order to be successful with farming. So this is really sad, guys. So keep those comments coming. Thank you guys for your comments. Hey, welcome to Bigo, Player O, and George. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, and keep those gifts coming. Thank you, Tony Burglar and Cream of Wheat,
and
Z.
Peso, that Peso, Player O.
Yeah, thank
you. Cream of Sweets.
Yeah, Sweet Z. Okay, guys. So when I look at this crisis, you know, I see history repeating itself. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's payback for the way that the Black farmers were treated, you know, with losing their land. What I'm saying is right now, all of the farmers are affected, because it's not just, it doesn't have, you know, it don't see a color, or it doesn't see race. Black farmers have been mistreated, true enough, pushed out and cheated for over centuries. But now many white farmers are beginning to feel some of that pain. They're feeling the exact same thing. This just isn't about just soybeans, guys. You know, we talked to, you know, the video, one lady was doing tomatoes, another was doing corn. Or trade deals. It's about power and control. If farmlands keep sliding into the hands of the elite, which is potentially going to happen, corporations and foreign buyers, all the farmers are going to lose, not just Black farmers, guys. It says time to plant and grow your own crop in your own backyard. That's what I said, because I had my little crop growing this year. A lot of people grew their own crops this year, and I have a feeling that next year is going to be even more people are going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it next year. You know, definitely have that garden. Take care of, grow your own fruits and vegetables, guys. It's possible. I know it's possible. Okay, guys. Here's my final take on this. You know, I feel the same way that you feel, Doc B. The farmers are the backbone of America. They feed us, okay? And without them, there's no food, there's no town, there's no heartbeat in rural America, okay? Trumpism promised protection, but what we're seeing looks like straight up betrayal and abandonment, especially with the situation with Argentina. You know, you can't bail out your own farmers right here, but you could bail out a country that literally undercuts the farmers that's here, that's already battling with your tariffs that's killing the American people. It just does not make sense. But it's like families who trusted the system are now watching their land slip away, while billionaires and hedge funds, you know, they line up literally to buy the land from these farmers. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. But I still believe change is possible, guys. I still want to try to stay positive. And communities, what they need to do is just organize. Policies can be rewritten. That's why it's important who you get in office. It's important that you vote, and the public can wake up to see what's happening. Everybody needs to know what's happening. These are the reasons that some of your prices at the grocery stores are going up, especially when it comes to produce. Farmers are more than food producers. They are keepers of our land and our future. And if we don't protect them, we risk losing more than crop. We risk losing part of who we are.
That's right, Doc B. And this is bigger than politics, guys. I mean, this is so much bigger than politics. It's about survival. It's about dignity, and it's about legacy. We have to fight for the fairness. We have to fight for the families and for the land itself, because once it's gone, it will never come back.
That is so true. It's not coming back. So, guys, I am reminding everyone that farming matters, land matters, and we can't afford to stay silent. I am your girl, your favorite auntie, Dr. B.
And you can catch us on all the various social media sites. We're on all social medias at Live with J&B. And that's all of them, guys. So no matter what platform, whether you're on Bigo, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, @Live with J&B. And we know a lot of you guys don't have the time to be able to watch us live, so you can always catch us after the fact on our YouTube channel @Live with J&B. And for our podcast listeners, you can find us with J&B Live Podcast. And that's for your Spotify, your Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Pandora, wherever you enjoy your podcast listening, you can find us there at J&B Live Podcast. Okay. I'm your boy, your uncle, that guy, Broker J3. And until next time, guys, let's talk about it.
All right. Thank you.